All right, welcome back to the next lesson. Starting today, we're going to kind of get into the nitty-gritty, the formulas of 3D shapes. Prior to today, we've just really been working on drawing and representing and kind of creating 3D shapes. And now moving forward, we're really going to look at finding their surface area and volume. So we're going to start on page 120 and 121. We're going to be on both pages here of our notebook, and we're only going to do one shape at a time. So if you remember, we've split up 3D shapes into 5 categories. We have prisms, pyramids, cylinders, cones, and spheres. So we're going to cover all 5 of those. And we're going to start on page 120 and 121. The title for these pages is going to be the same. So we have surface area, and volume, surface area, and volume. And today we're only going to be talking about prisms. Okay, let's now a prism, there are many different types of prisms. Okay, we did quite a few, but the idea is that you have 2 shapes opposite of each other that are identical, whether they're squares, triangles, pentagon, hexagon, octagon, whatever they are opposite of each other and they are identical. Those are known as your bases. So let's just on page 120, we're gonna draw 2 different types of prisms. I'm first going to draw a triangular prism. And we'll go ahead and put the dotted lines in there. A lot of times we don't, but in this case we will. So there's a triangular prism. And then let's draw a pentagonal prism. And we can draw these pentagon prisms or these prisms differently. So this is kind of like laying on its side. But what I can do is I can draw the top first. So if we think of kind of the pentagon laying flat, so instead of drawing it like this, I'm going to kind of just tilt it and draw kind of the sides a little bit shorter than normal. Okay, so maybe something like this. Okay, again, this isn't perfect. We're still working on our drawings as well. Okay, I should have maybe come up here a little bit, but that's okay. And then we can draw the sides down, making sure that they're all the same length. Okay, and then get this side here. So there's our prism there. Again, that's not a great one, but it's there. So the sides that are identical would be considered the bases. So we got some bases there. Okay. So those are the bases. Okay, those are the bases. They will always be identical shapes. So to find surface area, we label as SA. Okay, to find surface area of these things, we just have to add up all the sides. Okay, the area of all the sides. So you may notice I have 2 bases. So we're going to take 2 times the area of the base, which we label as capital B, plus, now if I take this thing and draw the net, let's just go ahead and draw the net of one of these. So we have two triangles here and kind of a rectangle in between them. It's something like this. So this would fold up into this shape. And if we drew the net of this one, it would have more triangles or more rectangles here. And then this would be a pentagon on each side. So we've got the area of our bases. Now we need to find the area of this thing. Okay, which this distance here represents the perimeter of the base. So P, and then this would be the height or the length. We're going to label it H. Okay, and we'll label all of these. Okay, get my pen here. This is area of base. This is perimeter of base. This is height between bases. Okay, which this right here is your height. It's how far between your bases. Okay, and that is surface area. Again, if you don't remember the formula, that's fine. You just need to find the area of all the shapes, all the two-dimensional shapes. Okay, to find volume. Volume, remember, is how much space this thing fills up. Okay, or how many bases it takes to stack that high. So we're going to take the area of the base and just multiply it by the height. Okay, and these are the same. This is area of base, and this is height between bases. Okay, so to find volume, you just have to figure out how many pentagons it takes to stack however high that is, which is the area times the height. Surface area is just adding the area of every single shape. Okay, I've got 3 examples that we're going to put over here on page 121. So we can, my camera doesn't zoom out that far, but we're going to split this into 3 sections so we can draw, go ahead and draw 2 lines across there. 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 Okay, and we'll get the shapes drawn. Again, maybe use the grid here to help you draw the shapes. That's why I had you get it, to help you organize and draw. So we're going to draw a rectangular prism here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We talked about, putting some dots in places that you're going to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way it kind of looks like a good shape. So this is 4, 2, and 10. Okay, and on this one, we have a right triangular prism. Get that right triangle there. And it kind of went out of the box, didn't I? No. And sometimes they put those dotted lines in there. put the dotted lines in this one. You got your right triangle there. This is 4, 3, and 2. And the last one is a hexagonal prism. So we're going to draw a hexagon here. Like that, and then we'll draw sides straight down. Okay. And we have a 3 over here. We have a 4. And then it gives us from here to here is 2. Okay, and we're going to find surface area and volume of each. Now, I believe some of you will like this because there's not a ton of work to show other than, you know, just knowing these formulas and plugging in the numbers that they provide, or maybe I have to find some numbers in order to do this. So the first thing we need to do is figure out where our base is. Now, a rectangular prism, you can really choose anything as the base. But in this one, we're going to choose this front side as the base. Here, for this one, we're going to choose these triangles as the base. Remember, they have to have identical sides, mirror image. And here is this hexagon for the base there. Okay, so looking at the formula, we had the formula for surface area as 2 times the area of the base plus perimeter times height. Okay. Now, if you want, you can constantly write down the formula. That will help you remember what it is you need. But in this case, I'm just going to kind of keep looking back at the previous page. So we have 2 times the area of the base. So here's my base. In order to find the area of that, I'm going to take 4 times 2. So 4 times 2 plus the perimeter of your base. So in order to find the perimeter of this thing, this side is 4, this side is 2. So we have the perimeter is 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 times the height between the bases. So how far is it between this base and this base? That would be 10. Okay. Now you could put all of this into a calculator, or you could do it all in your head. It doesn't really matter. Get it focused here. Okay. So we've got 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus, if I add all of these up, I get 12. And 12 times 10 is 120. 120 plus 16 is 136. And for this, it would be its area. So it's units squared. Okay. And then we have volume. Remember, the formula for volume was area of the base, which we have from up here. That is 2 times 4 times 2. Oh, not this 2. That's my fault. 4 times 2, that's area of the base, times the height, or the distance between the bases, which is 10. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 10 is 80. And this is volume. So it is in units cubed. Units cubed for that. Okay. And All other prisms use the same formula, okay? You just may have to add some more sides to find the perimeter. The area might be a little more difficult to find, all of that kind of stuff. So let's move to this one. So surface area is 2 times the area of the base. Now, my base is a triangle. So to find the area of a triangle, we take base times height, which was 4 divided by 2. Okay, don't confuse the height of the triangle with the height of the prism. You just need to find the area of that triangle right there. Okay, you don't even have this 2 over here to do that. Okay, so you got 2 of those plus the perimeter. Okay, so the perimeter of your triangle is 4 plus 3 plus, okay, well, I don't have that side right there, but I know it's a right triangle. So we can use the Pythagorean theorem that we've used a lot over the past couple weeks and months. So that's 3 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared. 3 squared is 9 plus 4 squared is 16 equals x squared. 9 and 16 make 25. And then we square root. So x is 5. So actually this side right here is 5. Again, it's our 3, 4, 5 right triangle. So 5 times the height between the bases, which is 2. Okay, so you got 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. You got 4, 3, and 5. If I add those up, I get 12. So 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. And 12 plus 24 is 36. And that would be units squared. They didn't give us a label or anything for that example. Volume is how many of these triangles can I stack up to get this exact shape. So we're going to start with the area of this triangle, which cover this 2 up. That's the area. So 3 times 4 divided by 2 times how tall it is, 2. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12 units cubed. Now, the hard part on this stuff is being able to find the area of the base and maybe finding missing sides that you need, okay? So here in this hexagon, okay, to find surface area, okay, we've got this hexagon as the base. We're going to need 2 times the area of the base. Now, remember the area of the base, we found the area of this triangle here and multiplied it by however many sides that we had, okay, which there are 6 of those triangles. So we're going to take 6 times the area of one of those triangles. So the base is 4 times the height is 2 divided by 2. Okay, that's a lot right there. But remember, this is one of the little bitty triangles. It's this triangle right here, times how many triangles there are, times your 2 bases, because you got a top and a bottom, plus the perimeter. Okay, this is 4, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. So we can say 6 times 4 for the perimeter, times how far the bases are away from each other, which is 3. Then we just need to solve and reduce this thing. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 times 6 is 24. And 24 times 2 is 48. Now, feel free to put this into a calculator if you want. That's okay. Plus 6 times 4 is 24. And 24 times 3 is 72. And if I add those two things up, I get 120 units squared. Okay. Again, feel free to put all this into the calculator. Make sure you're using a lot of parentheses in there though, okay? I still encourage you to do it little by little and kind of keep track. That way you don't, if you miss one thing through here, it's gonna mess up the answer. So definitely get a lot of practice with that. Okay, volume is area of the base. So if we cover this 2 up here, this portion is the area of the base. So 6 times 4 times 2 over 2. Okay, you had 6 of those triangles times the height of this thing, which is 3. Okay, so 4 times 2 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 times 6 is 24 times 3. And 24 times 3 is 72 units cubed. Okay. All right, so that covers it for a prism, surface area, and some volume practice. The main thing you're going to need to know are these formulas right here. So I'll put up some practice so that you can get used to using those formulas and getting used to that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'll see you in the next lesson.